What's up, Juice Gang? It's your boy Juice, and I'm coming to you live with some more Juice. Okay, so this video, as you can tell by the title, this video is a very serious subject, and I don't want to make this about likes or comments or anything. But if you do feel like you want to leave a comment about the situation or your own situation, you can go ahead and do that. But at the same time, be mindful. This is the internet, so there might be people who's going to attack your situation. It started out as me just saying hi to this guy when my best friend used to pick up his mom from work, and then it started going on to this guy basically started working in the same place that I started working, well, in the same place that I work at, and I guess me saying hello to them, saying hello to him made them think that we kind of knew each other, so he used to like give off the impression that we knew of each other, which that wasn't the case at all. He used to say how we were the same and how he had went to school for psychology, so he kind of can pick up on people and how they move and what they think and this the other, you know, the mind games stuff, like the OG type stuff, mind games that old folks use. This guy's way more older than I am. He's at least 20 years plus older than me. He started off like acting caring, or acting like he cared, and maybe he did to some extent. I don't know. I really don't care. To be honest, he would, like, I would be prepping something, and he would like take the knife in a way that it was, I don't want to say it was sexual, but it was. He could have just asked for the knife and asked to show me how to cut something. He didn't have to grab the knife in the way he did. Like, when he grabbed the knife, he did it gentle, but he was also caressing my hand at the same time. And then it went from that to him doing that once more, and I had told him not to do that again. Like, he could just ask for the knife the next time. And then it went from him doing that to him grabbing my butt, slapping my butt, and things like that when people weren't around, like when there weren't any other coworkers around and it was just me and him supposed to be working while others were on break or putting in orders or doing something like that. And then it went from that to him telling me to cook for him, like his wife. Like, he was like, you're supposed to cook for me, and stuff like that. And I was like, you're crazy. And then it went from that to, like, I guess there was some kind of issue that I didn't even know was an issue, because I had kind of stopped talking to him. But majority of the reason why I kind of stopped talking to him was because of the fact of him acting that way towards me. Like, I told him to stop, and it was like he wasn't stopping. It was like he was getting worse. So I kind of stopped talking to him, and then he was acting like, or he felt as though that we were enemies. And once I had got sick and came back, and he was telling me like how we're not enemies anymore, and how he cared for me, and how he was really worried about me when I was sick and stuff like that. But he was saying that in front of other people, so it kind of looked like he really genuinely cared for me. And I guess because like people seem, to other people, I seem like I'm not a very person. I seem like a person that's empathetic, in that I don't, you know, really have emotions towards people and stuff like that. Like, there's been a couple times where they've asked me to go out with them, and or like go have drinks with them, and I simply decline and stuff. So I don't know, like trying to get to know people, stuff like that. I'm very closed off, especially when it comes to work, and like hanging outside of work. I'm very closed off, but I don't know. Maybe they took it as that or whatever, but maybe they just took it as me just being me. But yeah, he was acting concerned and stuff like that, and then that's the first time of me even noticing that we were enemies in some instance. And then after that, it was another instance where there was altercation, a verbal altercation with another employee, and he kind of like jumped in and tried to chime in on the situation even though he wasn't around and stuff like that, and tried to give his light. And then he brought in other people that weren't into the altercation, or didn't know about the altercation, and he was trying to say this and what happened, and he wasn't there. He doesn't know what happened. Maybe the other person probably said what they felt happened, but it didn't go down that way, if that's what they were saying. But anyways, he basically thought that I was taking my anger out, or my attitude that I had for that person on him. That's not the case. I didn't have an attitude towards the person. I just stopped talking to the person, just like I just simply stopped talking to him. So after that, he then like started telling, like he already was saying like how much he cared for me, how much he loved me already. But then he started saying like how sexy I was. Well, he been saying that too, but he started doing it more. It was a little more than normal. And there was a time when we were left alone, and well, I didn't know we were left alone. I was just there, and they were saying he was going to be coming up to work soon, because like that's when somebody had to go down the break, and they wanted to like get breaks done before the next rush come in. So I'm stocking my station, whatever. He comes in, and when he comes in, he kind of like brushes his private area onto my hand. Like I'm stocking the station, and I'm like down, and I'm pretty much putting the stuff into the cooler, and my hand's on the door like this, and he brushes his private area on my hand, and I snatch my hand back, and he like walks away or whatever. And then I had my hand like that to keep my balance, so then I'm going to keep my balance again, and I'm putting stuff in. He comes back, and he grabs my hand, and he then tries to put my hand towards his private area, and I snatch my hand back, and I'm telling him, what is he doing? Stop, don't do that, that's considered sexual harassment. And I'm like basically breaking down to him what sexual harassment is and how he could lose his job for that. And his response to that was he doesn't care, he has another job. Basically, like it wouldn't affect him if I tell him, or if I was to tell HR about him doing that. But there's been some times, or in some instances before, where he's done some things to me where I bring up HR, and he kind of leaves me alone, if not for the day, for the week. So, you know, it was like I was saying that so he could leave me alone, like legit, because that was like across the line, but also so he could leave me alone for the day, because like he like came in starting with crap. So after that happened, there was another instance where there was somebody on the line, and well, after that day I just didn't talk to him, and I just was working. But if y'all want to know, but after that, there was another instance where he was on the line, and like he normally roughhouse with another guy, like they're friends or whatever, but we're not friends. And he tried to roughhouse with me and try to act like he's playing it, just like trying to brush against me. And I'm like backed up into a corner. I'm telling him, leave me alone, to stop. And the team lead sees that, and the team leads tell him, hey, stop, don't do that. Like, he's not playing with you. If he hits you, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything, because he tells you to leave him alone a lot, and you are always bothering him. So that didn't give me the okay to then hit him. I never put my hand on this guy, but he does throw things at me and put his hands on me and stuff like that a lot. But yeah, after that, then there was another instance. Let me try to skip to when I went to HR, because a lot of things were occurring. Like, these are just some of the things that were happening, but a lot of things were occurring like this. Then the next thing that happened was the Sous Chef. We were working, and the Sous Chef was in the front he was expoing. And I had made burgers like I always make burgers, and he basically like picked up the bun and he was like, are they supposed to taste the food or this, that, other? And I guess like I put too much of the spread on the bun for him, so he just got spazzed out about that for that day. And he's already told me like one time that he was gonna try to get me fired. And he's already told me that a few times that he would try to make my life miserable. He's already told me that he was miserable, which is one of the reasons why I told him to stop talking to me once before, because you know, misery loves company, and I wasn't trying to be miserable. But you know, by the time I went to HR, I finally realized that I was miserable for so long working here, which is the reason why I wanted to leave. But yeah, so after that happened, I was moved. I went from that station, went to another station. I wasn't working with him for the rest of that night. The Sous Chef said like, you can't talk to him like that, this to the other. Then I want to say the next day. Yeah, the next day. It was busy. Well, it wasn't busy. Somebody went on break, and it was just us two working there once again. And I'm working, and some tickets came in. It's some apps, some shrimps, and some chicken nachos, and some other stuff. So shrimps don't take that long, so I was gonna put those in on last, or he could have put those in last, or whatever. So I already set up the buns for him. A lot of tickets are coming in. And then I go to pantry side so I can start working on stuff on pantry side, because nobody's over there, nothing's being worked on over there. So I'm starting to work on that side, and the other guy comes back from his break, and then he goes over to that side, and he was like wondering if the shrimp had been dropped or whatever. I didn't say anything because like common sense, you don't see shrimp in a window, you don't see shrimp down. And when he asks him, he says he don't know. So obviously, no, the shrimp have been dropped. So, and and the ticket was in the window, like it wasn't pulled. So obviously, the ticket in the window, it hasn't been pulled. Nobody has done it. So, I ain't say nothing. I'm still working on the chicken nachos and stuff like that, and you know, just trying to keep the peace, because it's like every time I open up my mouth or say something, like it turns south or whatever. So I was trying to make sure that nothing turns south, nothing like gets to a point where like he's lashing out at me and I'm being pushed over the edge, something like that. So in the moment of him saying like, no, he didn't put it down, he then turns towards me and he's like, well, why didn't you put the shrimp down, you stupid monkey? And basically it was calling me monkey this and monkey that, and then he started speaking in Creole, saying monkey this and monkey that. I know how to say monkey in Creole, but I don't know a lot of Creole, but I do know maka, or however you say it, is monkey. So he pretty much pissed me off at that point, and it was like the last straw. It was like, I'm working my ass off and I'm doing the best that I can, and I guess me doing the best that I can is still not good enough for you. So it was like, this is more, if it's not you sexually harassing me, you're bashing me. It's like, I don't know what to do at this point. And then at that point, it was like I had to walk off the line, and I had went and I spoke to a supervisor, and I was telling them, hey, this is going on, and it's been going on for a while. It's like, if not every day, every other day, something is going on, and it's really starting to get to me. Like, all this is like, and I'm sitting here and I don't say nothing to this guy. I don't bother him. I don't bother nobody. I stay to myself. If things start going south or something like that, I try my best to lead the conversation, walk away. He would walk behind me and like still be like talking mess, and and if I tell him like, please leave me alone, this, the other, he don't leave me alone. It's just so much going on. So he was like, he was gonna talk to the sous chef, the head sous chef. So he did. The head sous chef wanted me to write a statement, what was going on, this, that, other. because he was like, what's been going on, this and the other. And I was like, well, there's a lot been going on. He was like, you been bullied, you been doing this. I was like, well, is it bullying and plus other stuff? If it's not one thing, it's another. So then he said, write a statement. So I wrote a statement of what's been going on since day one, that I just wasn't speaking on, but it's still happening. Like every chance he get, like he'll bash me, and then next thing you know, like when people are around, he'll be like, you know, I love you, right, or something like that. So it was getting to the point where like it's like tearing my insanity. And then on top of that, it was like I seen it being in my vlogs so much to where like I wasn't posting my vlogs like I wanted to post my vlogs. In the beginning, my vlogs were very much so about me talking about my New Year's resolution to me going to VidCon. I didn't go to VidCon this year. I was supposed to go to VidCon this year. I'll be going next year though. But it was going from a positive, it went from a positive, you know, environment to my vlogs being all negativity, and I didn't want that to be on my vlogs. I never would have thought that I would be talking about that on my vlogs. And I know that I wanted my vlogs to be kind of like letting you guys in, and kind of like me trying to like break out of my my nutshell and being so closed off and stuff like that, because I'm trying to work on like networking and things like that. So that's the reason why I wanted to start vlogging, so I could kind of work on that and like, you know, talking to people and being in front of the camera and stuff like that. That's the whole reason why I started vlogging. So it went from that, writing him the statement, to him reading the statement. He was like, this is deep and stuff like that, to me then having to go to HR and explain to HR. When I talked with HR, I was telling them things I just was speaking on things that they had in front of them. And I didn't, in my statement, I didn't bring up the fact that he had pretty much rubbed his penis on my hand. I didn't bring up the fact that he tried to take my hand towards his penis and trying to describe his penis towards me. And I didn't tell them about the fact of him basically trying to act like I'm like a wife and I'm supposed to be cooking for him this and this and that other. So I didn't speak on a lot of things, but they were happening. And I guess some of the things that would have made a valid case of how he sexually harassed me, basically what I did tell them, such as him touching my butt and stuff like that, wasn't good enough. Me telling him to stop and him still doing these type of things wasn't good enough. Me telling them that him saying that he's gonna scream, make me scream his name over and over again wasn't good enough. So she basically made it seem as though like it seemed like it was more of a taunting and more of like him bullying me more than sexual harassing me. I mean, it was both. It was him taunting and harassing me, and sexually harassing me. There was both. There wasn't like just one instance. There were multiple instances where he's doing the same thing over and over again after I'm telling him to stop. So yeah, after them saying that, I kind of realized that they weren't really taking my accusations seriously, or they didn't take my claim seriously, and they pretty much chopped it down to like bullying or whatever. So they told me they was gonna call me and let me know like what their decision was. The next day, I was supposed to go to I was supposed to go to work, and no, the next day I was supposed to go somewhere, whatever. I was supposed to receive a phone call. I didn't go anywhere because I was expecting this phone call so I can, you know, hear them out, hear what they had to say, what my next steps could be. If I feel uncomfortable working there, could I transfer somewhere? You know, I was looking for like legit, you know, I was looking for choices. I was looking for like solutions. I was looking for options of what could happen. Like what are my options? Like, would you guys be willing to move me to a different location, to a different work environment, to somewhere different, so I don't have to feel uncomfortable at work? Because not only is it he say she say stuff, now it's like it's an elephant in a room to where like now we aren't left alone. Everybody knows why we're not left alone, and everything, and so on and so forth. So, and then on top of that, in the thing. I was telling them, like, I feel like, and because they was asking me, like, why didn't I say anything months ago? Why didn't I speak or raise my hand months ago? And I was like, well, I've seen this happen before, and they didn't do anything to the person before. Like, well, I didn't see it there, but at my last job, that the same situation happened. Well, so you might well say it's similar. That person, they were in the room and they were chasing them around the room and saying things and whatever, and it was very, very graphic. So that was brought to everybody's attention, and basically they moved the person that was saying something happened, and the other person, nothing happened to them. I mean, I guess it wasn't a big case or whatever, I don't know. But this instance, like, all this stuff was happening, whatever. I did have at one point him calling me a bitch on video, and how he was saying it, and it was very, very vulgar. He was like, yes, you are a bitch, B-I, and he was spelling it out. And then he was like, stop recording me, I'm not playing with you, I'm not fucking playing with you, and saying all these kind of stuff. I'm just recording how he be acting towards me when people weren't around. Like, I legit, like, he says, like, I didn't do anything to him. I was like standing by myself, and he came over and he was like, bitch, and I was like, what did you say? And then he said it again, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I started recording. He was like, yes, I called him a bitch, and then all the other stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And I was trying to save it, but something went wrong with my phone, and it just was like, because I know it's like he say, she say stuff, and like how things work, it's like one against another. So it's they can be like, oh, it's two sides to every story, and they said that, and basically they didn't do anything. So, but yep, I'm sexually harassed at work. They didn't do nothing. And you know what? I'm just learning that, you know, you should speak sooner rather than later. And then on top of that, the first time they're not gonna do anything. So say it while it's fresh. And then also, I'm gonna apologize on behalf of all of them, because, like, that's wrong. I'm sorry that they don't take these things serious like that, and I'm sorry that you have to go through that. I'm sorry that you have to be uncomfortable. I'm sorry that you have to work in that kind of environment, and I'm sorry that you may feel stuck and can't do anything about it. I mean, I would try to leave, and like right now, like everywhere is slow. So I have a good resume. Well, I feel like I have a good resume. So I try to apply everywhere, and it's so slow right now. Like, I'm trying to change. Like, I was like, forget that. I'll leave the company. Forget that. Like, I was trying to like apply different. I done applied to so many companies, but like by the time like I finished applying to either people already done got the job or something. So yeah, definitely I would say speak sooner. Your side is not gonna be taken right then and there, and you're gonna feel alone. There's gonna come a point where you're gonna have to learn how to rebuild yourself to who you were before, and you won't feel down about the things that you went through, and you will be more than just a victim. You will become a survivor, a conqueror, and you'll be way more prepared for another situation to happen like that. And I feel like because my case was rare, and I didn't believe like other people would believe that these kind of things were going on, and they were legit things that were happening. Like, I didn't think people would take it serious, so it took me so long to speak. So I would stress that you speak sooner than later, and don't let people say like, oh, you take things too serious to stop you from saying something. Because I feel like that's like reverse psychology type stuff. Like when people say like, hey, you're taking that too serious. Like sometimes, yeah, people do, we as us as human beings, we be in our emotions sometimes, and we do take things too serious. But there are some things like you're supposed to take serious, and it doesn't matter which and what way. Like these kind of things you're supposed to take serious, like sexual harassment and stuff like that. It's supposed to be taken serious. It's not something that's supposed to be taken lightly at all. And that's it. I'm out, y'all. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. You can comment below. Tell me your experience with sexual harassment if you would like. Maybe somebody else has gone through something like this, and maybe they can comfort you. And that, I really want to use this video for that. I don't want it to be something negative where somebody like attacking somebody else because they went through something and somebody thinking it's far-fetched. I know that I'm not the only person that's gone through this in this world, and I know that I needed someone else who has went through this to understand or to tell me something that I could use, or you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know. Man on man sexual harassment is real. Woman on man, men on women, women on women, women on children, children on adults, all this, that it's real. Like, that's it, y'all, man. This is the last time I'm speaking on this. This is something serious, man. This world shouldn't be like this. Juice is out. I'll see you guys in another one.